Hey guys, good morning. It is Monday, March 30th, 2020. I am meeting on here with you guys today, and we are going to go over our science experiments. You guys had a science experiment today called Traveling Sound. Traveling Sound. Okay, so for this experiment, you will need some string. I have this type of string. It's not string. It's actually some wrapping paper extras that I had because I didn't have any string. Next is a spoon. Here's my spoon, just a normal spoon. Okay. And then we have a ruler. It asks for you to use a ruler. You can use a ruler or you can use your table. So I'm going to use the table. I don't have anybody to hit the spoon for me. It's a partner activity, so I'm going to use my table. Okay, so table. There we go. All right, and that is all we need. So I'll go through each step with you guys. If you have this printed out or if you're doing it on Unique, that's totally fine too. So what we know, sounds come from vibrations. Sounds come from vibrations. This is true. Sounds travel in waves. We've been talking about all month how sounds travel in waves, how light comes from energy and sound comes from waves, vibrations. So our vibrations, light and sound both travel in waves, but sound travels in waves and it comes from vibrations. All right, so step one is ask a question. So as we do all of our experiments this month, or not month, year, we've used the scientific method. There are 5 steps of the scientific method, sometimes 6. So we're going to go through the steps of the scientific method. You guys remember this from when we did Oobleck and when we did some other experiments at the beginning of the year when we had a whole lesson on scientific method. But right now we're just going to use what we remember from scientific method to go through each step. So step 1 is always ask a question. So, what is my question here? Can I hear sounds through a piece of string? Can I hear sounds through this? Hello? Can I hear sounds through a piece of string? I don't know. So we're going to do an experiment to find out. All right, so now I have to make a guess. This is also called your hypothesis. We're going to make a guess. What do you think? Do you think sounds can travel through a piece of string? Miss Eaton, I've never heard sounds travel through string before. I'm going to say no. Miss Eaton, I think it can. I don't know. Maybe. I'm going to say yes. So you're going to guess. Remember, there is no right or wrong answer here. This is your guess. So whatever you think. So if you think I will hear sounds, you will circle this one. If you think you will not hear sounds, you will circle this one. If you think something else crazy might happen besides these 2 options, write it over here in my guess area. So either of those 2. I'm not going to tell you what I think. So I'm just going to circle my answer. Don't look. Just kidding. All right, step 3. Do the experiment. So it gives you this page. You guys can't really see it through the video too well, but this is on my blog. It is on Unique. You can access it that way. So here are the list steps of the experiment. So I'm going to go through it with you guys. So step 1, make a loop in the middle of your string. It's on my string. All right, so I tied a loop just like this, like you're tying a knot. Little loop through the middle of my string. All right. Step 2, put the handle of the spoon inside the loop. Okay, I promise you this spoon is clean. It just has a little bit of rust on it. Okay, so tie it around that spoon. Tighten the loop around the spoon handle. It's pretty tight. I don't think it's going anywhere. All right. Take one end of the string and wrap it around your pointer finger. So here's my pointer finger. I'm going to wrap it. Wrap the other end of the string around your other pointer finger. Okay. Oop, this is getting tricky. Pointer, wrap, wrap. So now it's on both fingers. Wrapped it on there. hold your pointer finger with the string against each other. Like that? I think so. Oh, they want it to be the same length. Okay, that's about the same length. All right, number 5. Have a classmate lightly tap the ruler against the round part of the spoon. So what I told you guys is, since I'm not doing that part, and I can't actually tap my own spoon because my fingers are in the string. So I'm going to use the table. Let me try to, yeah, here's my table. So I'm going to use the table. Okay, so instead of somebody tapping it with the ruler, I'm going to bang it up against the table. Ready? We're going to put it in our ears. So I'm going to kind of push my headphones back a little bit. I think you guys can still hear me. Okay, so I'm going to tap it. Ooh. Okay. On the organized data part, it's this page. This is the part where we're going to start writing. So for my first experiment, I'm going to tap the spoon lightly. For my second experiment, I'm going to tap the spoon hard. My light tap. Okay, so quiet sound, a little bing. I heard a little quiet sound, so I'm going to check off. I heard a quiet sound. Can you guys see my check right there? I heard a quiet sound. It has the picture of the guy shushing you, and it says, I hear a quiet sound. All right, my next one, I'm going to tap it harder. Hitting my mic. Here, I'm going to take my mic off. Whoa. You guys can't hear this. I can hear it, but it sounds really cool. I'm going to do it again. That is a loud sound. All right, I don't know if you guys can hear me. That was a loud sound. I tapped the spoon really hard and it gave me a loud sound. So I would check over here for spoon is tapped harder, and I heard a loud sound that time. Write my conclusion. Your conclusion page looks like this. Okay, so I'm going to write my conclusion. Okay, so number 1. When did you hear a sound? When the spoon was tapped lightly? When the spoon was tapped harder? Both times? Neither times. You're going to record what you think happened. On mine, I heard a sound both times, so I'm going to circle both. All right. When did you hear a quiet sound? Okay, so I'm going to go look at my data again. My data, I heard a quiet sound. There's a check mark here. When my spoon was tapped lightly. That's when I heard a quiet sound. Was when my spoon was tapped lightly. So let's see if that's an option on here. When did you hear a quiet sound? When the spoon was tapped lightly. Hey, that's what we just said. When the spoon was tapped harder. No. Both or neither? Well, I heard a quiet sound when the spoon was tapped lightly, so I'm going to circle that one. When the spoon was tapped lightly. All right, next question. When did you hear a loud sound? So I'll look back at my data. Loud. When did you hear a loud sound? I heard a loud sound when the spoon was tapped harder. I put a check mark there. Okay, so let's see if that's an option on here. When did you hear a loud sound? When the spoon was tapped lightly? When the spoon was tapped harder? Yeah, that's what we just said. When the spoon was tapped harder, it was a louder sound. All right. And the last question, was your guess correct? Did you think that sounds would travel through string, or did you think it wouldn't travel through string? Did you think it was or it wasn't? If you said yes, I can hear sounds through a piece of string, then you will circle yes, my guess was correct. And that's okay if your guess is not correct. Sometimes our guesses won't always be correct. That's why we have experiments. hypothesis would have been incorrect. If you said, I will not hear sound through my string, then you were not correct, and that's okay. That's why we do experiments. So you will either circle yes if you made a correct guess at the beginning, circle no if you did not make a correct guess at the beginning, to think that if you did not guess correctly, that means you got it wrong. That's the point of the experiment. So, good job, guys. That was the last page, step 5, find the conclusion. There's a little review page if you want to click to read it at home or if you want to talk about it with your parents, but it talks about why we heard sounds. So we hear sounds through sound waves. When sound waves hit your eardrums inside your eardrum vibrates. You hear the sound. So we talk about why we heard sounds through string, because string is a solid. All right. Good job today, guys. I hope you did the sound traveling experiment at home. Hope it went well for you guys. Make sure that you do fill out your step 4 and step 5 parts of your sheet that look like this. Even if you watched the video with me today and you went based off of my experiment, that's okay too. But make sure you fill out your form and you submit it on Unique, or you take a picture of it, your parents send it to me, or you drop it in your OneDrive account. However that works for you guys at home. But good job today, guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.